Alright guys, Aston Villa and Newcastle, or I should say Newcastle and Aston Villa as it was at St James's Park. They drew 1-1. And well, the first half, I nearly fell asleep. It was very dull. The only player who looked at all threatening was actually Joe Linton. He put himself back quite a lot. He had a few runs where I felt he had the beating of Tyrone Mings for pace and for strength, which, I mean, it's not many players you see out-muscle Tyrone Mings, is it? But he couldn't take, or he couldn't even make really any opportunity, but like he did look lively, which is a plus point for him. And there were a couple of chances a chance for both teams in the first half. Trezeguet, who does it just seem to like anybody else watching that like last season I remember he had a decent season for Villa. He scored quite a few goals that were important in their survival. He probably got the second most goals for Villa last season, I'd imagine, behind Grealish. But he had a decent half chance, but Dubravka saved it. Ryan Fraser had a decent attempt from a half volley, headed down from Dwight Gale. But that was pretty much it for the first half. And in the second half, it got a bit more lively. Jacob Murphy for Newcastle. Is it Jacob or Josh? I can't remember which one it is. It's one of the Murphy brothers that used to play for Norwich. I think it's Jacob for Newcastle. Is it? It's it. It'll be one of the two. Just refer to them as Murphy. Hit the bar for Newcastle. It was a good turn. He managed to send Desri Konsa for a chippy and thundered it against the bar. But then with about, I'm not sure how many minutes there were left to go, but Ollie Watkins broke the deadlock for Villa. It was a cross and he's gone for it on a diving header. It was probably going in the bottom right corner, and it took a big deflection off Kieran Clark and went into the top left corner. And that looked like it was going to be it for Newcastle. But they in the 90th minute, they didn't give up. They kept going, and they managed to get an equaliser through a really good, strong bullet header from Jamal Lascelles. And yeah, I mean, this game has showed that Newcastle have got something. They have got some fight, and they aren't just reliant on Alan Saint-Maximin and Callum Wilson. And I think I get that the Aston Villa team is obviously going to be weakened because they are missing their best player. That's understandable. And they are playing a very young, inexperienced player in Ramsey in midfield, which is, yeah, fair enough. But I was a little bit disappointed by Aston Villa today. I felt they didn't create enough. They obviously created the goal, and that was really it for clear-cut chances. And against relegation threatened Newcastle team, I felt they should have gone for it a bit more. Because Newcastle, they've got a good, without Callum Wilson and Sam Maximin and players like this, they're a good aerial threat, but they're not much else really. Like, corners are where Newcastle get quite a lot of goals from this season, and most of them come from defenders and not attackers. And yeah, I felt Aston Villa definitely should have done more. Bertrand Traore obviously went off in the first half, which, I mean, is probably didn't help Villa in creativity. But I still felt they should have done more with players like John McGinn, who have a lot of creativity. And I mean, Villa now, like all that talk about top four and it's possible they could still get a top six place. It's probably unlikely, but it's not out of the realms of possibility. And but it's probably more likely that they'll get a top 10 finish, like ninth or 10th. And for Newcastle, it's another point in their road to survival, isn't it? I guess. So yeah, a point is if you're getting a point every game for the season, you're not likely to get relegated, are you? That's 38 points, and they say you need 40 for guaranteed survival. But that wasn't in West Ham's case, was it? About 20 years ago, they got about 42 and still got relegated. And yeah, I think this season now you are going to need more points to be guaranteed of survival than you are over the past couple of seasons, because what you tend to find in the Premier League table is if the teams at the top are getting really high points, like say if the top four have all got 75 points and above, the bottom teams will usually have no more than 30 points sometimes, definitely no more than 35. But this season, it doesn't look at the teams at the top. It's very tight in the top half of the table, so it looks as though the teams in the bottom, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like the gap's going to be smaller, so you're going to need a lot more points to guarantee survival. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.